In early 2025, my Yoimiya finally reached top 1% on Akasha, and soon after she even got into the top 100 of all Yoimiyas, which is like top 0.03%. To be precise, she was at rank 57. But ever since then, she has fallen lower and lower down the ranking, and despite my best efforts, eventually she fell out of the top 100 in October. But today I'm gonna try to reclaim my spot as one of the top 100 Yoimiya mains, and those of you who've seen my last few Yoimiya videos can probably already guess how I'm gonna do this. Yep, I'm once again gonna reroll her Sands. This one here. Because as you can see, it has the perfect substats you want on an attack sense on Yoimiya. And yeah, I've rerolled this quite a few times in the past and sadly never got an upgrade. So far I've actually used every single reroll feather I've ever gotten on this account on this single artifact. And yeah, the results weren't great so far, but today maybe is gonna be the day where this artifact is finally gonna get the upgrade that I've been looking for half a year at this point, or almost half a year. I don't remember how long it's been exactly since the reroll feathers were introduced, but yeah, I actually have a bunch of them today. As you can see, I have 8. I've saved them up specifically for today, because there's something else that my Yoimiya is gonna get today, besides just some artifact rerolls, and that is a new constellation from this constellation event here. As you can see, I can claim it. And I'm gonna do that in this video, but first I'm gonna reroll the artifact. Or maybe I should do it first. Maybe that's gonna bring me some luck. You know what, why not? Let's actually do this right now. Here we go. 1 Yoimiya constellation. Yes, I'm sure that I want one for her. There we go. And now my Yoimiya is actually C5. So I only need one more for a C6 Yoimiya. Now this constellation is nothing special, it just increases her burst level by 3, and her burst is of course the least important part of her kit, but it's still nice to have, and it's still one step closer to C6. And the C6 is actually pretty good, because it gives her like an extra arrow every once in a while that deals a decent amount of damage. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to get this the next time Yoimiya has a banner, whenever that may be. But for now, let's just focus on improving her build, so I can finally get back into the top 100 on Akasha. And yeah, just to show you where I'm currently at on Akasha. Here we have the current build, and yes, you can see she's now at rank 115. So she's fallen like another 10 ranks since the last video. So I really hope that today is finally the day where this artifact just rolls 5 times into crit. Though just rolling into crit alone is not enough. It has to be mostly crit damage, because I'm already at 100% crit rate, so I really don't want more crit rate than I already have here. Like if it's a little bit more, that's still okay, but I still want most of the rolls to go into crit damage. Best case would be like 1 or 2 crit rate rolls and then 3 or 4 crit damage rolls. But yeah, with that being said, it's finally time. Without further ado, let's do this. So we're gonna select these 2 here. Actually, is it possible to do this with only selecting 1? I always just assumed that you have to select 2, because it says here select 2 minor affixes, but maybe it works if I only select crit damage. So I'm guaranteed to get 2 crit damage rolls. Should I try this? Okay, select 2 minor affixes, yeah, thought so. Okay, so we need to select both. That's fine. I'm still fine with getting some crit rate rolls, just no more than 2 crit rate rolls, please, and the rest completely into crit damage. That's what I want. So far the game hasn't given me that though, but yeah, let's just do this. This could just be another huge waste of reroll feathers, but oh well, you gotta do what you gotta do. There we go. Come on. Yes, so far so good. Oh, come on. Yeah, that is definitely not an upgrade. That is less attack, less crit damage, same crit rate and elemental mastery. I'm definitely gonna keep the original configuration. So that's 2 feathers gone already, and we got nothing out of it. And that's exactly what's been happening basically the entire time since reroll feathers were added to the game. I've rewrote this artifact so many times and the game just doesn't want to give me crit damage. And when it does give me crit damage, then it's always low rolls. And I need the rolls here to be actual high rolls if I want my Yoimiya to go back into the top 100 and actually stay there for a while. But yeah, we have 3 more rerolls potentially. Come on, this one now is guaranteed to have 3 rolls into crit. And then we just need the other 2 to be a bit lucky and also go into crit. Come on, please. Okay. Flat attack. Oh, flat attack again. Man! This has no more crit damage than the previous one, but less crit rate, and flat attack is really not what we want here. My Yoimiya already has enough attack, so yeah, every flat attack roll is basically wasted. And it wasn't even high rolls, it was pretty low rolls actually, considering we only went from 29 to 47. But yeah, of course it only gave me the minimum amount of crit rolls. That's what always happens, you know? It's 3 guaranteed rolls into the stats you select, but potentially more. But for me, it never is more. So yeah, we keep the original, and now we're back to 2 guaranteed rolls, so it's just, yeah, probably gonna be 2 or 3. It's never 4 or 5, that's the problem. Except the one time where I had the guaranteed 4 rolls and then it went almost all into crit rate and only 1 low roll into crit damage, so I couldn't even use that, even with the guaranteed 4 enhancements. Man, it's just rough. The reroll faders really don't like me. They never give me what I want. Anyway, here we go again. Got 2 more rerolls, but maybe we just need this one. Just need to get a little bit lucky one time. Okay, flat attack again, oh my god. And both crit rolls were low rolls. And yeah, once again, I only got the 2 that I'm guaranteed and nothing more. Why am I so unlucky with this? Like, the probability to get more than just the guaranteed amount of rolls is not even that low. It's a 50% chance on every roll to be either crit rate or crit damage. And yet it always goes into flat attack or EM when it's not guaranteed to go into crit rate or crit damage. Okay, well, we are almost done now already. It's probably not gonna be an upgrade again today. My Yoimiya is just gonna fall lower and lower in the ranking. And there's nothing I can do about it because my artifacts are already so good that just farming more Shimenava artifacts, it's not doing anything. I've tried many times. I'm not getting artifacts that are better than the ones I already have, so I have to rely on the reroll feathers to somehow get an upgrade. But they are not doing it either. Well, here we go. Last roll for today. Okay, we're getting... No, that's too much crit rate. Oh my god, I got finally 5 rolls into crit. And it's, first of all, too much crit rate. And also, crit damage was a low roll, the first one, I think. I don't think this is actually even gonna be an upgrade. Like, even if I switch some other artifacts around so that I don't overcap on crit, which is... But the other artifacts are also so good, it's just gonna be... She's gonna be a lower rank if I do that. Like, even though this now has much more crit value than before. You know, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Even when I do get lucky, it still is unlucky at the same time because I get the wrong crit stat. I don't need that much crit rate, I'm already at 100%. And I wish I could just look at my other artifacts now to see if I maybe can somehow shift it around to, like, don't overcap on crit rate. But I can't. This is a difficult choice. Do I keep the original configuration? Because Elemental Mastery is also kinda important. Like, I don't need an Elemental Mastery roll here, but it would be better than overcapping on crit rate. I just needed this to be the other way around. 2 in crit rate and 3 in crit damage. But I'm still really tempted to take this new configuration, because it's the first time I actually got 5 rolls into crit. All 5 of them. I really don't know what to do here. You know what? If it were high rolls in crit damage, I would take this. But it's not. Because if it had been high rolls, both of them, then I would be at 20%. So I don't think this is actually better. Like, it definitely is better, but at the same time, for my build specifically, it would actually be worse. I mean, I have less attack, less elemental mastery. My waves are definitely gonna suffer a bit from that. But I do have some more crit damage in exchange for that. And I might have some other artifacts where crit rate is a bit lower in exchange for more crit damage, maybe? Maybe I can make something work. But if I click this and it actually turns out to be worse than the previous one, then... that's what I'm afraid of. Oh my god, I'm literally unable to make this decision. I'm sorry, this is probably not very entertaining, seeing me contemplate this for like 10 minutes, but like, I'm seriously like not sure which one would be better here. I mean, I am sure this one is better, but like, I don't wanna overcap on crit. And I don't think I have the artifacts necessary to bring the build down to like 100 crit rate while maintaining the overall build quality. But it is 5 crit rolls, it is 5 crit rolls. This is over 40 crit value. And losing that flat attack and elemental mastery, I don't think it's that impactful. Probably. You know what, I'm doing it. I'm taking the new one. This might be a mistake, but I'm doing it. Okay, now I can take it back. Okay, what's the build looking like now? I mean, I still have over 100 EM and still over 2300 attacks, so yeah, again, I don't think the attack and elemental mastery rolls, the missing rolls, make that much of a difference. And I do have 209 crit damage now, that's an improvement, but yeah, also overcapping on crit rate. Now let's see, in terms of flowers and feathers, I mean, I have a lot of crit rate on this one here, so if I can get like a little bit lower crit rate, but more crit damage on the feather. But this feather is just so good in general because it also has 5 crit rolls that I'm not sure. I know I have this one here, which has actually the perfect substats, and I would reroll this if I had any feathers left to see if I can maybe get a bunch of crit damage here. And then with the lower crit rate compared to this, then, you know, that would be it. But yeah, I don't have any feathers left because of course the game waited until the very last reroll to actually give me 5 crit rolls. And I'm pretty sure I don't have a flower that could make up for this. Yeah, because my crit rate is already pretty low here. And my crit damage pretty high. It's gonna be difficult to get something with lower crit rate and higher crit damage on here. I mean, I have this one here on Yaemiko. If I give this to Yoimiya instead, it's almost the same attack. You get energy recharge, which I don't really want on Yoimiya. But we do have more crit damage here. Just a little bit more though. But then you wouldn't overcap on crit anymore. Let's just check on Akasha. Where my Yoimiya is standing currently. Okay, so if I refresh now. She goes from 115 to... Oh, 148. She actually went down. I shouldn't have taken it. I shouldn't have taken it. I knew that the Elemental Mastery... The missing Elemental Mastery in the attack would screw me over with too much crit rate. Damn it! I actually went the opposite direction of what I wanted. I'm so sad right now. I knew this would happen. Like, the raw value now is a lot higher than before. But because I'm overcapping on crit and I'm having less Elemental Mastery now in the weight bracket, I'm of course lower. I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this. Why? Why are you doing this game? Why couldn't you just give me the other way around with 3 rolls and crit damage? Seriously. Or at least give me 1 EM roll instead of 1 crit rate roll. You know what? I'm gonna try the Yaemiko flower. Let's see. With this one, I am now at pretty much exactly 100 again. 211 crit damage. Attack is slightly lower. But let's hope that a little bit more crit damage is gonna put me higher up in the ranking again. Probably not as high as before, because it's just a little bit. But maybe. Maybe. Here we go. Refresh. Okay, it didn't update yet. But this flower has 720 RV. I don't think the Yaemiko one has higher RV, since it does have an ER roll. Here all the rolls went into crit or attack. But that 1 ER roll on the Yaemiko flower is gonna bring down the roll value, because Yoimiya doesn't want energy recharge. Yeah, it even says here in this little graphic that I'm too low on EM now. Could use a bit more crit damage, way too much crit rate. Okay, 121, she actually went up again. Thanks to the flower. But yeah, the flower has a lower roll value overall than the previous one. But I guess for the damage she's doing, it's a bit better. But still, it's worse than before. We started at 115 and now we're at 121. I really didn't think the video was gonna go like this. I thought that even if we don't get an upgrade, we would still stay at the same point we were before. But no, we actually fell down 6 ranks. That is so painful. That's the first Yoimiya video where I actually went backwards. Where I made my build worse than better. But it is what it is. Okay, so I actually already recorded an outro and stuff and ended the video. But then I decided to switch around some more artifacts off camera. So sadly didn't record it, but well, turns out I actually had the artifacts I needed to get her back into the top 100. I mean, just take a look at this. Yep, top 45, which is even higher than she used to be, because the highest rank so far was rank 57, but now 45. So how did I do that? Well, just look at the feather. 780 RV. This is the feather that I was mentioning before I was probably gonna reroll in the future. And I just decided to give that to Yoimiya to see how much of a difference it made. And it actually decreased her rank to like 140 at first, even though it has such a high roll value. But then I switched the flower back from the Yaemiko one to the one I had previously. And that put me up to 45. So yeah, overall this is a better build, and the reason why this has such high roll value even though it has less crit than the previous feather is simply that it has the perfect substats, all 4 of them, and you know, Elemental Mastery and Attack are also important. Yoimiya has a bunch more attack now, almost 2500 now, and of course a bit more Elemental Mastery, and yeah, for the wave leaderboards, that of course matters. More than I thought even. I mean, I knew that Elemental Mastery and Attack were important of course, but yeah, I kinda underestimated them a bit, I guess. I still actually might reroll this feather in the future, simply because there's a chance it could be even better if it rolls fully into crit. I still think, despite what I just said, that crit damage is the most important. Crit rate of course as well, but I am so close to 100 that I don't want too much crit rate. You know, I don't want a repeat of what happened to the Sands. But the Sands overall is also better. Now it's just that with the other artifacts I had, I was just overcapping on crit, and that's what put my Yoimiya lower down in the ranking at first. But yeah, now that I managed to solve the crit rate problem, so I don't overcap anymore, this Sands definitely is better than what I had previously. By the end of this build, Yoimiya should stay in the top 100 for at least a few months, I hope. But I'm definitely gonna work a bit more on her at some point. Like I said, probably gonna reroll this, try to get some better crit here. But I'm also gonna try to eliminate the last few useless substats I have here. This defense percent 1 and this defense percent 1. Those are the last two remaining useless substats on this build. Every other artifact has only useful substats. And if I actually by some miracle manage to someday get rid of the defense here, you know, get some elemental mastery on this one and this one while maintaining the same crit ratio, or a better one, then my Yoimiya might potentially even reach the top 10. That would be amazing. But yeah, for now I'm really happy that she's at least back in the top 100, top 50 even. The best she's ever been. Man, this video was almost such a fail. I almost downgraded her, but in the end I somehow still managed to upgrade her. So yeah, all is well that ends well. But before I actually end the video, let's actually do a run at the Miliastra test dummy, because I kind of want to see how much DPS I can reach with this Yoimiya and Columbina and Ineffa. Yes, I know, some of you are probably tired of me using Ineffa and Columbina. I've done it in like the last 10 videos, but they are just so good together, and I want to see how much DPS a Yoimiya team with them can have, and how much percentage of the damage Yoimiya is actually gonna do, because I have a suspicion that Ineffa or Columbina, one of these two, might even out-damage her. So is Yoimiya even the main DPS in this team? I don't know, but I definitely want to try this, just so that we have a little bit of combat at least in this video as well. So yeah, let's do this. I'm just gonna do one quick run, maybe two. Not gonna spend too much time on this. But yeah, let's see. And let's set the timer. Usually I do 60 seconds. Okay, let's go. Okay, easily over 120k DPS, as expected, with Ineffa and C2 Columbina. But now the question is how much of that damage actually came from Yoimiya. Let's find out. Actually, 35%. She did the most damage in a team, yeah. Okay, so we can still kinda call her the main DPS. But Columbina came close. Columbina's also at 30%. Both Columbina and Yoimiya did over 2 million damage here. Ineffa also pretty close to 2 million. But yeah, Yoimiya is still doing the most damage. She's still a really good boss killer even in this day and age, as long as the bosses don't have any super specific mechanics that want specific reactions. I still use Yoimiya all the time in Abyss, and sometimes even Stygian Onslaught. I actually defeated one of the bosses in the previous Stygian rotation with Yoimiya, so yeah, she's actually still viable. I mean, of course they're better DPS nowadays, but that doesn't mean that Yoimiya is bad. You just have to invest quite a bit into her and her teams. But she actually has gotten a lot of really good team members over the years, you know, not just Columbina Ineffa, but also like Sidlali, for example, works really well with her. Durin in an Overload team. Sadly, I don't have Durin on this account. But yeah, overall, Yoimiya is just still great, and I love her, and I'm gonna continue working on her to keep her in the top 100. But yeah, for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Genshin Impact and other gacha content. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.